Members of the internet community took notice of the bravery exhibited by particular individuals. This was due to the fact that the persons in question brought attention to themselves and their activities by serving in yellow batches. This was due to the fact that these individuals drew attention to themselves as well as the actions that they were engaging in. It is difficult to assume that this is not the case when one considers the captivating movie that was one of the top trending topics on Telegram's social media on Wednesday, August 3, 2023. Members of the 10th Mountain Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces launched an assault on the trenches that were occupied by Russian forces. The trenches had previously been taken over by Russian forces. This occurred despite the fact that Russian soldiers were still present in the immediate area of the conflict. As he advanced in front of them, it appeared like a large number of Ukrainian soldiers were moving forward while holding rifles in their hands. It seemed as though the soldiers were making progress. Despite this, he was the one in charge of charging, and he was responsible for it. It was he who took initiative and assumed control of the situation, so we may give him credit for that. They were ambushed and killed by Putin's troops as they made their way across the region as they moved from one hiding location to another throughout the area. Putin's soldiers were making their way across the territory. According to the findings that were derived after watching the film in question for the purpose of this study and analyzing its contents. When it came time to start the torrent of fire that they meant to direct at the goal point in the position that was being held by the Ukrainian resistance fighters, they did not show the slightest degree of trepidation in doing so. Because of this condition, it was physically impossible for the Soviet army to mount a defense against the assault that was being carried out. Because of this condition, it was physically impossible for the Soviet army to mount a defense. As a direct consequence of this condition, it was physically impossible for the Soviet army to mount a defense. There is a moment toward the very end of the film in which two Russian soldiers are shown rushing to avoid being captured by Zelensky's forces. The incident takes place near the very end of the film. The woodland is where all of the action takes place. This particular scene occurs toward the tail end of the motion picture. The event in question happens not all that much further away from the very end of the film than it does today. In fact, there isn't much difference. The occurrence occurs not more than a minute or two before the recording is complete at the very latest.